All right, so let's keep rolling here. So we talked about the market numbers. I do want to come back and talk about builders. So a few of you have asked builder questions. One person asked, is there any time you would ever steer a client away from a builder? I do want to answer that question. So if you're the one that did that, throw that one back on because I do want to answer that. That's actually a great question because number one, we can't steer, but we can advise you on certain things and we will do that. So I want to talk about that. There's a question that I had told somebody earlier to ask again. Make sure you ask that one. I already forgot. Sorry, I'm reading the comments, but I want to get to this. And we had some topics here, right? So the governor of Texas just removed the I don't have I didn't transition fast enough. My bad, everybody.
Unemployment benefits.
Unemployment benefits. There you go. Sorry, I was going to try to pull it up. So what do you think that's going to do? I mean, there's a good article in the Statesman today. What do you think that's going to do with some of our problems as far as we have a lot of issues? Like I know a lot of restaurants are dying for people to come in and work. We're seeing issues with supply. Will that help supply? Will that alleviate some of the problems we're facing? So I'd love to get your feedback on that from the Migos and Sarah. I'll let you go first, Sarah, because I think you had done some good research on that.
Yeah, I mean, so I can see this from both directions, but to be honest, I was going through and I was going to write down the numbers, but I didn't. But basically, a majority of kind of these jobs, like you're talking about, like service industry, restaurant, things like that, a lot of these people are getting more money by staying home and getting the unemployment benefits and the additional extra money from unemployment than they are if they're actually working those positions, which is unfortunate. But for like restaurant owners and things like that, and a lot of self-employed folks that have minimum wage type jobs. And so I'm decided to kind of switch this on like a lending perspective. So if you are collecting unemployment and not employed, you can't qualify to buy a home. We can't use unemployment income to qualify you. So if you are wanting to buy a home and get in a good position to buy a home, you need to start working because depending on what type of income you're making, then you might have to be on that job for 6 months to a year now because you've been on unemployment for so long. And that hurts you and it counts against you. And then there's a larger gap. The other piece is, I know I kind of mentioned it before about building, is that a lot of builders are having struggles right now because they don't have labor and they're having problem getting enough people to do those construction positions, which is also pushing out their turn times and pushing out being able to get these houses up as quickly as they're wanting to get more supply out on the market. So I think by getting rid of this unemployment piece benefits early, it might, force some more people to get back out there in the workforce to start, working and building up those positions again. I did also pull some numbers that said, that the unemployment applications are declining and they're near all-time lows since, what are you calling it, to FIFA?
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things I thought was really interesting, and sorry, this is a little all over the place, but was the fraudulent claim information. Did you read about that? And how fraudulent claims, because a lot of people are doing identity theft so they could collect this money. And that TWC said that for 2021, there are 377,000 suspicious claims. And that's up from 2020 being 234,000 suspicious claims.
Wow.
And then if you compare to 2019, before all this started, right, there was only 1,142 red flags for fraudulent claims. So, I mean, that money is going to people that don't need it. And I got some of this information off of FRED, which is the Federal Reserve economic data as well. But anyway, that's some of my 2 cents from the things that I was seeing from that article.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's a ton of information, but I think the thing that a lot of people are hoping is that it does put more people back to work in construction jobs, which aren't the sexiest of jobs, let's be honest. And in this article, they said, in fact, there were nearly 60% more jobs often open and listed in Texas today than there were in February 2020, the month before the pandemic hit. So that's what Abbott said. So, I mean, how many restaurants have you been to where it takes forever to get anything? Everybody's got a sign on the wall asking for help. I think the problem in what you even said was that those jobs might pay less than what actually somebody's getting on unemployment right now. You can chastise that business all you want, but unless you're willing to pay more for that burger or whatever you're consuming, that's going to be, the restaurants at some point has to be able to either pay somebody enough money to come in and work and either figure out how to put that commodity or that, thing that you're going to eat at a certain price that you're actually going to pay. So they have to find that fine balance. As a business owner, I can relate. I mean, there's a lot of things I have to manage. Like, what is my time worth in this scenario? What do I need to pay in order to make my time worth it? So I understand it. It's not a fun position to be in for sure. I would not want to be a restaurant owner right now. In fact, maybe I would. I mean, if you're in Kyle, the mayor Kyle said the tax revenue's up really, really well because people are eating local and staying local, but more people need jobs to take those jobs.
That's the key right there. That last line, more people need to take the jobs that are available if they can. There are a lot. Austin is booming with opportunity. It really is. And I think people just need to evaluate that. And, I've been in that, I guess I haven't really been in that situation, but I know a lot of people who've been in the situation where they haven't been able to get a job when they needed one. Right. And it's tough. But then if you're getting unemployment and you get used to that lifestyle, I had a friend that was on unemployment for almost a year. And this was years ago, but he was on unemployment forever. He was like, why would I go back to work? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm getting paid for this and I can make cash on the side. I was like, okay. So I think that's short-term thinking.
Thanks for watching this short of the REALMigos podcast. For more live streams, hit here. For more clips, hit here. We'll catch you on the next one.